What's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video. In this video, we're going to be talking about a topic that I've wanted to talk about for probably a couple of years now, and that's PC exclusives and whether or not they suck. This is one thing that I always hear in the comment section is PC has no exclusive, PC exclusives suck, and while sometimes I do actually agree with those people, a lot of PC exclusives are different than what you are accustomed to on consoles. On consoles, there's always games like Halo, God of War, The Last of Us, and the Uncharted series. Games like that get all this commercial time, they get billboards in Times Square, and they're made out to be a freaking big deal. On PC, that's the case with some games like League of Legends and World of Warcraft, but if you're not into games like that, exclusives on PC might not be something you're all too interested in. But the PC does actually have a lot of exclusive games. The majority of them are not like the console exclusives where they have this gigantic budget, this huge single-player campaign, and like I said, Super Bowl commercials, billboards on Times Square. Outside of a couple games, there are games like the Blizzard titles, League of Legends, Dota, Counter-Strike. There are games out there, but those are a lot of competitive games, MMOs, and a lot of people that are accustomed to console gaming aren't really into games like that. Now, outside of games like that, there are exclusives. There's games like Arma, Stalker, where they're not as publicized as the console exclusives like your Uncharted's and your Halos, but they are still really good games, but they're really different compared to your console games. If you guys do swap over to PC gaming, it's really an adjustment period getting used to exclusives. Games like Red Orchestra, Arma, a lot of those kinds of games are PC exclusives, but they're completely different to what you would play on consoles. These games that really hold your hand and aren't as simulation-based. That's what PC really excels at. If you guys like simulation-based games, you'll really find a lot to like on PC. And there's a lot of games outside of that, but it's a different feeling of an exclusives on PC. For a lot of PC games, when an exclusive comes out, it's kind of swept on the wayside. Not a lot of people talk about it. When you see an exclusive come out on PS4, like The Order 1886, it might be a piece of shit game, but it's promoted like all hell. And just because a game is heavily promoted, that doesn't mean it's a very good game. You saw that with The Order 1886. On PC, it's a lot of niche titles, a lot of hardcore titles. Like I said, MMOs, RTSs. It's a different genre than what you would find on consoles, but a lot of the games are really good. Like Civilization, that's a game a lot of people have invested hundreds upon hundreds of hours. But yeah, if you are accustomed to console gaming and you're moving over to PC gaming and you want to try out the exclusives, there is an adjustment period, but after that point, a lot of the games are really freaking good. And for some people, I just don't think they'll ever get into exclusives like StarCraft, like Civilization, like Arma, like Red Orchestra. I just don't think they can get into those games because they're used to console gaming holding their hands a lot, and they're just not a fan of a lot of competitive games, which is really big on PC. So on PC, for a lot of people, you just kind of have to resort to the third-party games, which I know is the case for many people. They just play the third-party games because they look better on PC and play better, and they kind of don't even care about the exclusives. That's your extremely casual gamer coming over to console gaming, and I'm not saying being a casual gamer is bad, that's perfectly fine, but on PC, a lot of the exclusives, you do have to be more of a hardcore gamer, you do have to invest a lot of time into the games to really understand them, and there's a lot of nuances with a lot of games, which isn't the case for a lot of console exclusives. For a person like me, I'm gonna be honest, I do prefer the console exclusives over the PC exclusives, but for a lot of people, it's very different, and if you do get hooked on one of these PC exclusives, like League of Legends, Counter-Strike Global Offensive, even a lot of the MMOs, you really don't need any other games because you're gonna invest so much time into those games, because a lot of those games can become like a drug. Like Total War, for example, that's a big RTS series exclusive to PC. It's very different than what you would find on consoles, and if you get into a game like Total War, I have friends that have spent thousands of hours on Total War. It's a game with a lot of depth. Company of Heroes is another one. That's another strategy game. Strategy games aren't that big on consoles, so if you're moving over, you might be like, what the hell are these strategy games? And Company of Heroes 2 was a game that came out shortly after I began PC gaming, and that's a game I absolutely loved. And at first, I fucking hated RTS games, but Company of Heroes 2 was a game that actually hooked me and brought me into RTS. You guys know that I got really into League of Legends. Then there was Hearthstone that I got really into, and I know Hearthstone is on mobile devices as well, but it's these kinds of exclusives. They're a different kind of exclusive, but a lot of them are very good, but a lot of them aren't gonna appeal to everybody. On consoles, you see the exclusives really targeting the mass audience, have these big production values. And there's obviously some exceptions with a game like Star Citizen. I think that's a game, if that was on console, that would definitely appeal to the mass audience. But yeah, you guys get the point. On PC, the exclusives are just different. They're not bad by any means. They're not gonna appeal to everybody though. So just check some of the games out. If you guys already have your gaming PC and you're like, man, fuck these exclusives, try out some of the RTS games, try out some of the MOBAs, try out some of the MMOs. You might get into them. Try out some of the sim racers like Assetto Corsa. I know a lot of people like that. So as always, guys, thanks for watching this video. Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.